Can you imagine waking up to find out that your husband is not only a cheater, but might also be a criminal mastermind? Well, hold on tight, folks, because I've got an exclusive bombshell. Shirley Strawberry's husband, Ernest, has just been slapped with 5 new charges that might just land him behind bars for life. Hi everyone, I am Leah, and today, we talk about the shocking twist in Shirley Strawberry's life.
And there's going to be numerous upcoming warrants coming in this case. I believe Roswell told us today when we checked for an update.
Just when, Keith, you thought the saga couldn't get any more intense, Ernest, her husband, is now facing not 1, not 2, but 5 new charges. You heard it right. And here's the kicker. It appears his own mistress played a crucial part in his downfall. Yep, she turned him over to the police, setting in motion a chain of events that could potentially see him spend the rest of his days in prison. So sit back and brace yourselves as I unpack this riveting tale of betrayal, deception, and justice. Following the government's assertions of pending charges against Mr. Ernest Williams, new revelations have come to light. Recent court proceedings revealed Ernest's admission of guilt to possessing an unlawful semi-automatic weapon, a serious criminal offense. He was caught on the brink of intruding into an unidentified person's dwelling, with intentions suggesting the potential infliction of harm. For his criminal activities, the court awarded Ernest a sentence of 2 years in prison. In addition to this sentence, a further blow came as 4 more serious charges were pressed against him. Among these are an aggravated battery charge and an offense associated with human trafficking. The case continues to evolve with an expected influx of legal warrants. According to information from Roswell, an estimated 15 or more warrants could be served against Ernest before the 13th of this month, indicating the gravity of his offenses.
Before the 13th, there's going to be about 15 plus more warrants coming his direction, serious felonies in there.
In a surprising turn of events, it came to light that Miss Shirley Strawberry, a long-standing presenter on the Steve Harvey Morning Show, is the spouse of the deeply troubled Ernest. The revelation has sent shockwaves through the community, with public sentiment suggesting a mix of disbelief and concern for Shirley's welfare. Fans and concerned individuals have been voicing their hopes that Strawberry will reconsider her decision to stand by her husband in the face of his criminal actions. A growing tide of advice points towards her exiting the relationship with the man, also known as Slickback, for her own safety. So Shirley Strawberry, the famed personality from the Steve Harvey Morning Show, finds herself ensnared in a scandalous relationship with a man, Ernest, facing a litany of vile allegations. The accusations stacked against Ernest range from theft and conspiracy to running an illicit credit repair company. On top of these, charges of illegal firearms possession and involvement in underage pornography taint his profile. Ernest was already serving time for various offenses when he got slapped with 5 new charges, further amplifying his felonious conduct. The presentation of these charges will follow a chronological order, commencing from January 8, 2019. On that date, Ernest was first accused of a heinous act involving minor abuse, sending shudders through the community. Still on that same day, a second charge surfaced, alleging Ernest's involvement in a $1 million scam, adding a layer of financial crime to his already sordid rap sheet.
$1 million fraud scheme and a lot of victims. This all happened through an alleged growth and coaching business, part of it run on social media.
As if this was not enough, a third charge unveiled a more grotesque aspect of his offenses. Ernest was implicated in human trafficking, with the charge detailing an instance of unwanted physical contact with intimate parts of an individual's body carried out without their consent. Amid all this, Ernest faces a particularly serious accusation: aggravated. The term aggravated implies a severity that results in harsher legal repercussions. According to Georgia law, a conviction for such an offense could lead to a life sentence. Alternatively, the penalty may involve a mandatory prison term of no less than 25 years, followed by a lifetime of probation. Ernest, the man embroiled in scandal alongside Shirley Strawberry of the Steve Harvey Morning Show, comes across as a dangerous figure when fans delve into his background. The revelations are chilling. At least 2 of the victims related to his crimes are none other than his own children, a son and a daughter. Even more alarming is the fact that the list of victims also includes Shirley Strawberry's daughter and her grandchildren, casting Ernest as a figure of concern who's been limited in contact with his family for safety reasons.
He's considered dangerous.
Adding to this sordid saga, in May 2022, Ernest was nabbed for having a silenced handgun in his possession. Despite being a convicted felon, a crime that is bound to carry harsh penalties, he didn't go down without a fight. Ernest put in a motion to suppress evidence, challenging the case head-on. The underlying details of the case are built on the discovery presented by the government on May 5, 2022. The events of Ernest's arrest are intriguing. On-duty officers from the Atlanta Police Department spotted Ernest entering a stolen car, tailing him to an apartment complex. They observed him moving around the complex, closing in on him, and ordering him to hit the ground. When they searched him during the arrest, they found a Glock handgun with a machine gun conversion device, a stash of marijuana, and 2 keys hidden in the pockets of Ernest's sweatshirt. Ernest pushed back against the arrest, arguing it was carried out without a warrant, but finally, he opted to plead guilty. On June 6, 2023, he admitted his guilt and was handed a 24-month prison sentence. The government put forth a recommendation recommendation that this sentence should run concurrently with any future charges Ernest might face in Fulton County. So it appears Ernest is set to serve any upcoming charges in Fulton County in parallel with his gun offense. Ernest's prison sentence marks a turning point in his life, and not for the better. A slew of charges, each weightier than the last, suggests he may not get a taste of freedom anytime soon. Amidst this murky drama, a key figure is scrutinized by many: Shirley Strawberry. As Ernest's significant other, her unwavering loyalty, even in the face of mounting evidence against him, has raised eyebrows. One instance that has drawn particular attention is Shirley's plea to a judge for Ernest's release. She went as far as to offer him a place to stay, a request that was understandably denied. In another bold move, while Ernest was out on bail, she tried to help him evade the law. Her proposed hideout, the home of none other than her business partner, Steve Harvey.
Actually, we have a call where he was talking with his wife about going to stay in her boss's house. I'm going to leave out all the names here, as Mr. Lewis did as well.
These actions, revealing a deep-seated dedication, were exposed through their phone calls while Ernest was incarcerated. The fans can't help but question Shirley's silence, which appears all the more unusual in light of the unfolding events. She's been noticeably distant, maintaining a stony silence as if the ordeal doesn't concern her in the least. However, there's evidence suggesting that she not only concealed her husband's illicit activities, but was also possibly involved.
And that's what you're going to settle for.
I'm gonna stick this out.
As a result, it's becoming increasingly hard for fans to view her as a blameless victim. She's been married before and wasn't quick to jump into another relationship. Yet, something about Ernest intrigued her, enough for her to accept his on-air proposal during the show she co-hosts with Steve Harvey.
For those of you that's listening, a man is walking in the room right.
The irony of it all, their show is centered around relationship advice, helping others cultivate strong bonds. With the scandal currently rocking their personal lives, their professional reputations, including that of Steve Harvey, are undoubtedly taking a hit. They've been doling out advice to others, only for such a controversy to erupt in their own backyards.
Let me say this, that wasn't funny.
But there's more to the tale. Beyond the crimes, it was revealed that Ernest was unfaithful to Shirley. From phone calls intercepted during the hearing, it came to light that Ernest had a mistress in Florida, separate from Melody Scratching, who's listed as a victim.
We consider this person to be a flight risk. We have jail calls where he's talking about going to see his girlfriend in Florida.
Speculation suggests the mistress could be Erica King, who has strong connections and residence in Florida. Allegedly, she and Ernest teamed up for a fraudulent scheme that raked in $1 million.
Well, more than a dozen people scammed out of $1 million. 2 people have been arrested on a number of fraud charges.
Their method? Posing as coaches, they would sell services to businessmen. Once the payment hit their accounts, they'd vanish into thin air.
People paid good money for their services, but walked away with nothing. Police say it was all a scam.
Intriguingly, Erica King has been released from prison, hinting at the possibility of her collaboration with the authorities. Could it be that she traded Ernest's freedom for her own? With new charges piling up against him, it's a theory that's hard to dismiss. The ongoing saga has stirred up a torrent of reactions from fans, each providing a unique perspective on the situation. Their thoughts, many of which are unfiltered and raw, provide an interesting insight into the general sentiments of the public. One commenter pulls no punches, expressing their distaste and revulsion in no uncertain terms. They write, "It doesn't get any worse than this. I wouldn't have any dealings with anyone hurting children. This is absolutely disgusting." A second fan digs deeper into Shirley's actions, questioning her character based on her decisions. Fans say the fact that she is sticking beside him and not immediately recoiled by these charges actually gives some insight into who Shirley really is. Their words highlight a widespread skepticism about Shirley's decision to stand by Ernest despite the mounting charges against him. In the fans' eyes, Shirley's steadfast loyalty doesn't paint her in a sympathetic light, but rather casts a shadow over her character. Yet another commenter takes a more balanced view, considering both sides of the coin, but ultimately setting a line in the sand. Users state, "I just want to say, if Shirley decides to defend him after all of this, she's just as sick. Even if we give her grace for not knowing who he was before, not likely, her accountability starts the minute she does know." In other words, ignorance can't serve as a shield, especially when the charges are this severe. Overall, the fan reactions paint a picture of collective disappointment and shock. Their commentary not only reflects their emotional investment in the case, but also highlights their growing disillusionment with Shirley's seemingly inexplicable loyalty to Ernest. Now, it's your turn to weigh in on this messy affair. How do you feel about Shirley's predicament? Do you think Ernest got what he deserved? And what about the mistress? Was she right to turn him in? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. I can't wait to see what you guys think about this jaw-dropping scandal. That's all for now, folks. Thanks a million for hanging out with me today. If you had as much fun as I did, go ahead and smash that like button. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe so you won't miss out on all the juicy gossip I've got lined up for you. Until next time, keep those comments coming and stay awesome.